Puck drop for the start of the game is 2015 Thieves versus the River Kings at the North American Classic in Winnipeg, Canada. Looks like our starting lineup is Thiebert, Hogan, 21 is Hart, Larson, and number 8, Harley on the ice now. Up down in the Thieves zone, picked up and carried out through neutral zone. Hart tries to center it, nobody there in the neutral zone, and the Kings dump it on goal for a line change. Henson Johnson out now with Bates. Goes in the center of the Thieves zone there. It's Henson runs into his own player. Carlson is out there as well. Henson, poke check at the point. Kings trying to center it. Puck loose, center zone. And it trickles out into the neutral zone. Kings not able to keep it in. Puck on the boards. Chipped in across the blue line. And Bates clears it out to neutral zone. Kings send it down deep into the Thieves zone. Picked up by Johnson. Poked off Johnson's stick. Kings try to turn towards the net. Cut off by Leonardson. Out to center ice off of Henson's stick. Turned over to the Kings in their zone. Henson, Carlson battling. Carlson pokes it across the blue line. And it's poked back out. Kings in on the right side. Centering pass up high. Back to the right wing. He misses the pass. Puck in the corner. Tipped away from the goal line. Out to Thiebert. Thiebert, neutral zone. All alone. In across the blue line. Dangles. Cuts over to the left wing circle. Ties it up in the corner. Waiting for the rest of the team to come out. Thiebert still controlling the puck. Up the wall to Hogan. Hogan cuts towards the middle. Shot on goal by Hogan with a pad save by the Kings goalie. Up in the corner. Picked up the wall by Thiebert. Kings clear it out to neutral zone. Cut off by Hogan. And Kings forced to dump it in deep and go off for a line change. Picked up in the Brainerd, or in the Thieves zone. Carried out by number 4, Larson. Scotty Larson. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Hart tips it across the blue line. Turned over to the Kings. Kings head back the other way. In across the blue line. Cut off. Center zone. Loose puck picked up by Kings player. Gets it towards the slot. But no shot on goal. Another shot on goal. Nice pad save. I'm not sure who we have in goal there. That is Turl. Quentin Turl is our goalie this afternoon. Up along the wall in the Thieves zone. Tipped out front. And swept away by Harley. Puck out to the point. Shot deflected. And carried out to neutral zone by Bates. Bates in across the blue line. Poked off his stick. Bates picks it back up and dumps it in deep. Bates still chasing after it behind the Kings net. Bates and Henson there. Bates battling. Stolen away by the Kings. And Kings head out of their own zone. Pass hit by Henson. And turned over now to the Thieves. Carlson in across the blue line. Henson up the middle. Carlson gets tied up. Bates in to rescue him. The Kings clear it out. And Kings across the blue line. They're offsides. Stolen away by Henson. Late offsides. Henson heads back the other way. Poked off his stick as he enters the Kings zone. Kings in across the blue line again on the right side. Angled wide by Leonardson. No shot on goal. Centering pass picked up by Carlson. Carlson heads down ice. Looks like you have a penalty coming up. The Thieves player took a fall. Slid into the boards. Looks like he's okay. This play whistle dead for a player down. 10:28 left in the first. Not sure which player that was for us. face off in the neutral zone. The Kings win it. Down the right side wall, circling down low, pass out front, ends up out at the point. Shot goes wide. Puck loose in the left wing corner. Out to the point. Shot blocked in traffic. Picked up by Harley. Yeah, Harley carried it out to neutral zone, but it's stolen away. Stolen back by Hart. Hart tries to send it across the zone to Thiebert, but out of his reach, and puck ends up deep in the Kings zone. Hart pressuring in the corner. Kings cleared all the way out and down ice. And no icing. Icing is waved off. Hogan up the wall to Hart. Hart tries to get it to Henson. It's intercepted. Hogan sends it up the far wall now. Picked up by Lennerson to Henson. Henson pokes it across the blue line and chases after it down the left wing wall. He loses an edge, and the Kings carry it out. Henson across the blue line, shot from the right wing circle. Nice save by Churl. Henson on the faceoff wins it over to the boards. Battle on the boards. Carlson comes away with it. Carlson out to Henson at center ice. Henson not able to control the puck. Puck rolls across the blue line into the Kings zone. Bates chips it down deep. Carlson battling down across the goal line. Kings still controlling the poke check by Henson, steals it away. And it's turned back over to the Kings. Kept in by Leonardson. Carlson with it on the wall, trying to get it to Henson. Out to Leonardson at the point. He gets tied up, and the Kings get it out across the blue line. Henson steals it away. Drops to the D. Sent back out to neutral zone. Henson picks it up center ice. Henson, Bates. Kings in across the blue line, left side. They deep pass Johnson. Get a shot on goal. Johnson picks up the rebound. Johnson out across the blue line into the neutral zone. Into the Kings zone. Tries to deke past the defenseman, and it's poked off his stick. The Kings clear it back out. Kings in on the right side. Poke check. Stolen away. Leonardson sends it across the neutral zone for number 6. Hogan is bumped off the puck. Kings back the other way. Shot on goal. Stick save by Churl. Sorry, I don't have all these players down yet. Looks like Hogan and Harley battling in the corner of the Thieves zone. Pass out to high slot. Kings player, fans on it. Carried out of the Thieves zone by Thiebert. Thiebert to Hogan. Hogan dumps it in deep. Leonardson behind the net. Kings come away with it. Puck out to neutral zone. Hogan loses his stick. Kings come away with it. Shot on goal as Larson angles him off. He's puck in the slot, swept away. Puck sent up the wall for Henson, but it's way out of his reach. Ends up down deep into the Kings zone for icing. Henson on the faceoff. Out to Carlson at the neutral zone, way out of his reach. That's going to be another icing on the Thieves. Henson on the faceoff over to Leonardson. Leonardson is tied up on the wall. Kings come away with it. Kings pass out front. Shot just wide. Had a free shot there. And another shot on goal. Quentin Turrell does the splits and holds the puck in the crease. Henson on the faceoff, picked up by the Kings. And puck ends up on the back of the net for a whistle. Henson wins the faceoff. Leonardson in the corner, looking for someone to pass to. Stolen away. King's shot on goal. Another save by Turrell, picked up by Leonardson. No, sorry, that was 13. Or maybe 43, Johnson. Carlson with it on the wall. A stick lift by Carlson to try and get past the defender, but Kings come away with it. They head towards the net. Shot on goal, glove save by Turrell. Pass out front, picked up by Carlson. Carlson out across the blue line. He's got 3 men on him. It's stolen away, and he goes off for a line change. Kings deep in their zone while the Thieves are off for a line change. Kings in across through the neutral zone, angled wide by Thiebert, and he loosens up the puck. It's sent down ice by Larson for an icing. Thiebert on the face-off. Kings shot from the point, hits traffic out front, loose puck on the rebound, shot wide into the right corner. Larson battling for it. Kings come away with it. They head towards the net. Loose puck carried back into the corner by Larson. He gets tied up, comes away with it, tries to send it up the wall. It hits a player, bounces out to center zone. Kings dump it in towards the net, but it's swept away. And Thieves cleared out to neutral zone. Up on the wall in the neutral zone. Larson trying to get it to Hart. Kings come away with it. Kings pass to the right wing. Shot on goal. Saved by Turrell. A close range shot. Thiebert in the corner. Battling for the puck. And the Thieves cleared out all the way down ice. Should be another icing. Yep. Henson on the face-off. Wins it back to the D, back up to Henson. Henson out to neutral zone, looking for someone to pass to. In across the blue line, and Carlson offsides. Henson wins the face-off to Johnson. Johnson tries to send it across the neutral zone. Kings offsides. Henson wins the face-off again to Johnson. Johnson has to retrieve it deep in the Thieves zone. Sends it up the wall for Bates. Bates not able to get to it. Kings dump it back in deep. Johnson picks it up. Thieves on penalty kill now. Bates was sent to the box for a minor penalty. We didn't see the call. Pass out front and swept away. Hogan battling in the corner. Sent up the wall, kept in by the Kings defenseman. Shot from the point. Saved by Churl and held for a whistle. Out to the point again.
Number 16 to go in Bates. 2 minutes for roughing.
That's a roughing penalty on Bates. Puck out to neutral zone. Hart, Kings head back in. Right up the middle. Pass Larson. Shot on goal, saved by Churl. Sent to the slot, and Churl covers it for a whistle. Minute 8 left in the penalty kill for the Thieves. They got 3 minutes on the clock for the first period. Saved by Churl. Loose out front, and it's swept in. Kings go on the board first. Henson on the faceoff pushes it forward to Bates. Bates chips it across the blue line. Puck loose in the Kings zone. The Kings clear it out to center ice. Johnson back to defend. Johnson trying to angle him off. Pass out front, and the Kings score. A 3-on-1 there. Puck in the neutral zone. Henson and Carlson battling for it. Carlson comes away with it, chips it across the blue line. It's turned over to the Kings. Kings clear it out to the neutral zone. Picked up by Larson. Larson heads in across the blue line down the left side wall. Centering pass to Carlson. Off his stick. Henson tries to grab it, but the Kings get their stick on it and get it out to neutral zone. Bates, the back check, steals the puck away. Larson in the neutral zone. In across the blue line. Shot from just inside the blue line, saved by the Kings goalie. They try to clear it out. Larson keeps it in. He backhands it towards the slot, but it's intercepted by the Kings, and they head down ice, cut off by Henson. And they're offsides. Stay injured. Face off in the neutral zone. Kings into the Thieves zone now. Hebert is our center. Kings behind the net. They try a centering pass. Hart and Harley, I think. Carried in across the blue line. Hogan's what it was. Hogan with a puck on the far wall. Tries to get it over to Hart. It's intercepted. Kings shot from just inside the blue line. Goes wide. Puck on the right side wall. Picked up by Hart. Hart poked off his stick. Kings keep it in at the point. Try to send it towards the slot. It's intercepted. Sent out to the point again. Hogan. Nice passing from the Kings. Thieves. And they steal away. Hebert sends it down the wall through the neutral zone. And the rest of them go off for a line change. Hard in deep with a forecheck. Puck out to neutral zone. Bates sends it deep into the Kings zone. Bates races in after it. Henson. Kings carry it out. Henson with a poke check, steals it away. Carlson picks it up. Puck loose, center ice. Kings come away with it, 2-on-2 into the Thieves zone. Cut off by Larson, picked up by Henson. Henson out to Carlson at the neutral zone, and that's the buzzer for end of first period. Start of this period, Henson wins the face-off. Johnson sends up the far wall of the neutral zone for Carlson. It's intercepted by the Kings. They head into Thieves zone, stolen away by Henson. Henson spins away on the far wall. Loose puck, center zone. And sent out to the neutral zone by Leonardson. Puck trickles into the Kings zone down low. They send it out to the point. It's tipped by the Thieves all the way down deep into the Thieves zone. No icing. Johnson sends it into the right wing corner. Carlson up the wall for Henson. It's stopped short. And the Kings fired on goal. It's covered by Churro for a whistle. Larson out the middle, across the blue line, down to the left wing circle. Shot a tough angle, saved by Kings goalie. Centering pass by Bates is intercepted. And Kings carry it out to the neutral zone. In across the blue line, they're cut off by Hogan, I think. The puck sent down ice. Kings forced to retrieve it. Forecheck by Leonardson. Kings able to clear it out into the neutral zone. Cut off by Larson, just inside the blue line. Puck out to neutral zone. Over to Hogan. Hogan shot from center zone with a save by the Kings goalie. Hart pressuring. Kings cleared out to neutral zone. Sent back in deep. By the Thieves. Carlson pressuring into the Kings zone, but the Kings able to skate out. And across the blue line. Puck on the far side of the wall. Carlson picks it up. Carlson out to neutral zone. Carlson and Henson 2-on-1. And Carlson takes a shot. A glove save. And no rebound there for Henson. Hart on the the faceoff. Brings it over to Thiebert. Thiebert. Puck kept in. Hogan with a shot. Puck out to neutral zone. Johnson waiting for the team to clear zone. Enters in on the left side. Spins on the wall. Sends it out to the point. Centering pass over to the right wing. Shot on goal. Rebound pops out. Nice play. Hart digging on the wall. Puck down low in the Kings zone. They send it up the near side wall. Johnson there. Kings get it out to center ice. In on the right side. Johnson not able to stop him. Shot on goal. And looked like they got it in the 5-hole. Kings score again. Thieves 0. Kings 3. Shots on goal are 6 for the Thieves, 18 for the Kings. Benson wins the faceoff. Back to Larson. Larson sends it forward in the neutral zone. Picked up by the King. Kings in the Thieves zone. Centering pass poked away by Bates. Kings still with the puck. Walk towards the center zone. Shot on goal. The blocker saved by Churl. Rebounds into the left corner. And sent behind the net. Larson battling. Scoots it up the far side wall. Not able to clear it out of zone. Kings step up. Loose in the slot. No shot. Swept away. Out to the point. Henson pressuring. Gets a stick on it. No shot. Pass to Henson out of his reach, and it ends up all the way down zone for an icing. Hart on the faceoff. It's a draw. Hart comes away with it. Hart heads out of zone. Across the red line. Up the middle. Hart still controlling the puck. Loses it just as he gets to the slot. Johnson, the poke check. The Kings get past him. They pass it forward. Tied up by Leonardson. No shot. Good D by Leonardson. And puck cleared out by Thiebert. No icing. Puck deep in the Kings zone. Good forecheck by Hogan. Puck cleared out by the Kings. Johnson has to race back. Leonardson's there. And the Kings carry the puck through the slot. No shot on goal. Johnson kicks the puck away over to the far side of the Thieves zone. Thiebert sends it up the wall. It's deflected out to neutral zone. The Kings dump it back in. Picked up by Johnson. Johnson carries it back out. Gets tied up at the red line, and the Kings head back into the Thieves zone. Up the middle, shot goes wide. Puck ends up behind the net. It's a penalty coming up on the Kings. The Thieves try to clear it out, but touched and it's a whistle. Interference penalty. .42 left in the second. Thieves on the power play for 2 minutes. Kings clear it out, but Bates wrestles it back. Bates with the puck. Trying to get it up the wall to Henson, but ends up in the hands of the Kings player. The Kings send it across the neutral zone. Picked up by Hogan. Hogan down the wall, poked off his stick. Henson pokes it forward. Intercepted. Larson to Carlson off the wall. Kings send it back the other way. Kings in on the left side. Thieves still on a power play, minute 20 left. Trying to get something rolling here. Bates out to Henson. Pass goes behind him. Henson not able to get a stick on it. Intercepted by Kings up the middle. Deep pass Hogan, and a shot on goal. It's covered by Wilson. Hart on the face-off. Kings chip it down low. Johnson in the corner. Johnson sends it up the wall for Hart, but out of his reach. And the Kings shot from the point ends up on Turrell's stick. Easy save for him. Johnson battling in the corner. Kings still with the puck on this Thieves power play. Kicked out to the blue line by Hart. Poked out across the line by Hogan. Hogan backhands it across the blue line into the Kings zone. Kings defenseman there to pick it up. Kings with it deep in their own zone. They send it up the near side wall. And down the left side. And shot on goal. Saved by Turrell. Pass by Johnson. Over to Thiebert. Thiebert carries it in and knocked off the puck. It trickles down deep into the King zone. And they pick it up. Poke check by Henson. Picked up by Carlson. Carlson. To Henson. Henson in across the blue line. Poked off his stick. Henson in the left wing corner. Puck stolen away. And sent out to the neutral zone. Hogan spins away from two defenders, and the Kings finally steal it away, but they're offsides as they enter the Thieves zone. Kings back to full strength. Henson on the faceoff. Kings in across the blue line on the left side. Pass over to the right. It's intercepted by Larson, but Kings steal it away. Henson with a forecheck. Centering pass. Moves out front and kicked away. And Turrell sent that out to the point. Hogan battling in the corner. Sent up the wall by Hogan. Or no, by Bates. Hogan to Larson. Larson to Carlson. Carlson up the far side wall to Henson. Just out of his reach. It trickles out to neutral zone. And Kings send it back in. Larson up the wall. Nobody able to get their stick on it. Kings in on the left side. Centering pass up the middle. And poke check by Hogan. No shot on goal. Carlson on the far wall. Kings step up the middle, pass down low. Oh, what a diving save by Turrell. Carlson on the far wall. Out across the blue line into neutral zone. Henson coming up the right side. Carlson dumps it in deep as the Thieves need a line change. Kings are cleared out. Hogan, or no, yeah, Hogan comes off the bench, gets a shot on goal. Hart to Hogan. Hogan tied up in the corner. Kings come away with it. They send it on the far side wall, kept in by Leonardson. Leonardson sends it down the wall, across the goal line. Hart in after it. Rubs the player off the puck. Hebert trying to get it to Hart out front. Hebert in the corner, centers it. Hogan shot on goal, loose puck, swept away by the goalie, and then sent out across the blue line. Nice effort there by the Thieves. Sent across the neutral zone by Johnson. And carried in across the blue line. Leonardson takes a tumble, gets the puck down deep. Kings send it back out. Johnson up to Hart. Hart across the blue line. Over to the left wing. Shot on goal by Hogan. Hogan battling in the corner. And Kings able to sweep it out. Larson in the neutral zone sends it down the far side wall. It's intercepted. The Kings send it to center ice. Bouncing back and forth. Kings finally come away with it. 3-on-1. Up towards the left, and they score. Over the shoulder of Turtle. Sorry, I had my mic off. Gotta keep turning my mic on and off because of the music and copyright stuff. Puck in the neutral zone on the far wall. Thiebert battling there. Kings with the puck. Pass out front. Shot and scored. Kings in across the blue line. Cut off by Johnson. Up on the far wall. Thieves carried out into the neutral zone. Poke check off of Thiebert's stick. Thiebert able to get it forward. Hart. Forward check, but Kings clear it all the way out. Get past Johnson. And try to deke around Turtle, but Turtle there covering the slot. No shot. And bounces into the hands of Turtle for a whistle. Henson brings a face-off to Hogan. Hogan is tied up in the corner of the Thieves zone. Henson races in to help. Kings come away with it. Larson to Carlson. Carlson in on the left side, across the blue line. Knocked off the puck. Carlson retrieves it. Pass out front to Henson. Henson cuts towards the slot and scores. And Thieves on the board. face-off. Henson to Bates. Turned over to the Kings. They send it back to center ice. Larson on the far wall. Sends it up towards Bates and Carlson. Carlson with it. Stolen off his stick. Kings tried to head back the other way. Cut off by Henson. And puck trickles in across the blue line. Cut off by Henson again. And loose puck ends up down the wall deep in the Thieves zone. They send it out towards the point. It's offsides on the Kings. Henson. Carlson. Kings dump it deep in the Thieves zone. Johnson races in for it. Outmanned. The Kings head towards the middle of the zone. Shot on goal. The glove save by Turo. Henson off the face-off sends it to the point. Kings keep it in. Puck in the corner. Carlson trying to shuffle it forward. He gets tied up. Kings send it towards the slot. Johnson intercepts. Johnson up the wall for Carlson, out of his reach. And the Kings head back in across the blue line. Cut off by Bates. Centering pass. Poked away. Johnson. That's the buzzer, end of second period. Looks like they're going to Zamboni for this third period, so I'll see you back in 15 minutes or so. The Zamboni driver is pretty quick, so it might be more like 10 minutes. Start of the third period, 2015 Thieves versus the River Kings at the North American Classic. They're up in Winnipeg. Kings with the puck in their zone. Send it out to neutral zone, kicked away. Larson picks it up. Larson up the near side wall for Hebert. Out of his reach, puck trickles down deep into the Kings zone. Kings up the near side wall, kept in by Larson with Thieberg. Thieberg not able to control the puck, turned over to the Kings, and they head down ice. Hogan angles him off, or maybe that's Harley, I'm not sure. Thieberg back to neutral zone, he's cut off at the blue line, and the Kings come away with it. Out to the point and into the neutral zone, Kings. In across the blue line, poke check by Larson, and Kings forced to dump it deep. Puck out, center zone, cut off by Henson, picked up by Larson. Larson and Carlson across the blue line. Larson takes a shot, glove save by Kings goalie for Whistler. Henson and Carlson on the wall, sent up the wall for Leonardson. Leonardson not able to control it, and puck's cleared all the way down ice by the Kings for icing. Henson on the faceoff pushes it into the corner. Has to battle for it. Carlson there with him. Henson battling behind the net now. Both players fall down. The Kings on the far side wall send it out to the point. It's kept in. And Kings finally able to get it out across the blue line. Leonardson back to defend. Kings across the blue line, angle towards the right side, blocked by Carlson. Carlson sweeps it forward, kept in by the Kings. Kings shot from the right D, goes wide into the left corner. Up the wall, Bates with a poke check. Puck ends up into the corner. Out to Johnson. Johnson over to Carlson. Carlson in the neutral zone. Stolen away from him. Kings head in. This pass through the middle of the zone. Picked up by Hogan. Hogan up the near side wall. To Hart. Hart sweeps it forward out to neutral zone. Turned over to the Kings. Loose puck. Hart sends it back over to Hogan. Hogan and across the blue line. It's poked off his stick and out to neutral zone. Picked up by Thiebert. Thiebert gets it across the blue line. It's turned over to the Kings and sent back out to neutral zone. Harley dumps it in deep. As Thiebert and Hart going after Hart. Tries to cut him off, but Kings send it all the way out to neutral zone. Harley over to Larson. Larson to Thiebert. Thiebert down the left side wall. Centers it. And it's tied up. Thiebert again. Stolen off his stick, and Kings head behind their own net. Thieves a little more pressure this period. Hart out to Thiebert. Thiebert not able to control it. The Kings send it up the wall, kept in by Larson, and then deflects out into the neutral zone. Up in the Thieves zone, loose, picked up by Larson. Larson sends it across the neutral zone. Tip to Hart. Hart not able to control it as he knocked off the puck. Sent back down ice as Hogan races back for it, I believe. Up to Carlson. Bounces past Carlson out to neutral zone. Kings try to send it into zone, cut off by Henson. Manages to finally get it in, and then it's poked back out by Larson. Kings with it, circling the neutral zone. Pressure. And Johnson, they're able to get it across the blue line. blocked out front by Johnson, picked up by Henson. Henson out across the blue line. He's got Carlson with him. Henson into the Kings zone, down the left side wall, spins away, looking for someone to pass to. Nobody there. Chips it up the wall, and penalty on the Kings. Henson on the face-off. Thieves on a power play for 2 minutes for interference penalty on the Kings player. Bates. Head contact penalty now coming up on Kings player. Off in the Thieves zone. That penalty actually was on Hogan for head contact, so 4-minute penalty. 4-on-4 here now for a minute 35, and then Kings will have a roughly 2-minute power play. Kings in the Thieves zone on the far side wall, tied up.
River Kings penalty number 17,
sent out
Archie Wall. 2 minutes for interference.
Hart bounces off his stick in the neutral zone, picked up by Thiebert. Thiebert in across the blue line, heads towards the center zone. Dangles past 2 players, shot on goal. A save by the Kings goalie. Shot by Thiebert. Pass out to Thiebert from Hart, intercepted. Kings head out of zone. Leonardson's back to defend. Dangles him wide. They get a shot off, hits the post, and bounces down back across the goal line. Sent out to the point. Kings dump it in deep. In the right corner. Pops out to the center of zone. Bates tries to send it forward. It's picked up by the Kings. Shot on goal. A nice glove save by Kirill. .55 left in the third, so 4-on-4 up in the Thieves zone. Henson ties him up, picked up by Larson. Larson trips on the blue line, sends it over to Carlson. Carlson in across the blue line. Tries to take a shot, it hits a skate. Loose puck. Kings send it up the far side wall, tipped out to center ice. Larson sends it back in across the blue line. Kings send it back out. Poke check there by Harley. Slap shot by Carlson, not much on it. Ends up in the right corner. Henson trying to tie it up. Kings skated out. 5-on-4 now. Interception by Larson. He sends it out to neutral zone. Kings have to reset. Kings in across the blue line. Loose puck. Picked up by Carlson. He chips it back out to neutral zone. Turned over to the Kings as they head back in. On the right side, poke check by Larson. Loosens up the puck. Hart comes off the bench, picks up the loose puck. Larson and Johnson into the zone. But Johnson takes a fall. Johnson. And across the blue line, passes it just out of Hart's reach. Hart was all by himself there. High slot. Hart enters the zone, and Johnson still offsides. Hart on the face-off. The draw, loose puck in the neutral zone. Kings chip forward and in on the left side. Bates not able to get on him. And hit the post. That was a whistle. That was a puck tinging off the post. Hart dangles past the defender, loses control of the puck, not able to get out of the offensive zone, and then it's sent all the way down ice by Bates. Kings pick it up in their own zone before the icing call. Kings head back in on the left side. Poke check by Harley. Covered by Turl for a whistle. Benson on the face-off. Out to the right D position. Thiebert with some pressure. Sent down the wall. Larson tying it up in the corner. Thiebert comes away with it. He gets tied up on the wall. Puck pops out. Shot. Bounces on goal. Swept away. Henson picks up the loose puck. Tries to head out to zone. It's poked off his stick as he gets out to neutral zone. Thieves back to full strength as Hogan comes out of the box. Hogan sweeps it forward for Thiebert. Thiebert in across the blue line with Hogan trailing. Henson coming up the middle. Shot on goal by Hogan with a save. Hart on the face-off. Kings come away with it. Out to neutral zone. Bates picks up the loose puck, sends it down the right side. It's intercepted, and Kings headed to the Thieves zone. Bates dives to cut him off, but Kings still controlling the puck. Back behind the net. Pass right out front with an open man, and they score. Running clock with 5:08 left. Thieves 1, River Kings 6. Bouncing in the neutral zone, picked up by the Kings. Send it up the far side, is poked forward. Leonardson races back to cut him off. Centering pass is missed and sent up the wall by Larson for Carlson. Out of his reach, it ends up all the way down in the Thieves zone. Hogan races after it. Kings out to center ice and across the blue line. Harley with a poke check. Kings still controlling the puck. Shot goes wide as they spin and shoot. Harley battling in the corner. Pass across the zone. Ends up on the near side. Carlson out at the point. Kings defenseman takes a shot that goes far wide. Harley sends it out to neutral zone, picked up by Hart. Hart goes to Thiebert, to Carlson, out front. Hart, backhand shot, and it's saved. I guess it's not a running clock, but it ran there for about 2 minutes. Oh, now it's running again. In the King zone, they push it out across the blue line. It's tied up on the far wall and carried back in. Johnson over to Thiebert. Thiebert not able to settle the puck. It ends up in the left corner. Thiebert trying to center it. Sent up the wall. Larson shot from the point. Not much on it. It's picked up by the Kings. Kings send it out to neutral zone. Over to the right wing. And and this pass ends up in the right corner of the Thieves zone. Kings down across the goal line. Henson. Larson pressuring. Centering pass intercepted by Harley. Larson scoops it forward. Picked up by Thiebert. Thiebert tries to send it over to Henson. It's poked away and ends up deep into the Kings zone as Henson follows it in. Henson and Johnson battling for it. The Kings come away with it. Head out to neutral zone. Poke check by Larson. Gives the puck away in the neutral zone. Larson pokes it forward, but back into the hands of the Kings player, and they send it back down ice. Kings in on the right side. Cut off by Bates. Pass over to the left side. Shot saved by Churl and swept out to neutral zone. Carlson, one-on-one, with Bates coming up his right side. Spins. Passes it to Hart, and Hart not able to control it. Hart centering pass out front, and scored by Bates. Let's see who that is. Hogan. Number 6, Hogan scored with a nice pass from Hart. Hart on the face-off. Kings come away with it in across the blue line. Over to the right wing. This pass ends up down across the goal line. They send it out to their point. That ends up all the way down ice as the Kings have to race back to retrieve it. Carlson pressuring down behind their net. They try to spin away from them. Up the near side wall, Leonardson centers it to Hart. Hart to Hogan. Hogan shot. Tries to put it in that upper corner. East side and wide. Kings up the wall. Harley there. Harley trying to settle the puck. Not able to. Kings player carries it in. And they score. Henson wins the faceoff back to Bates. Larson chips it back forward. Kings in their own zone. Thiebert pressuring. Kings come away with it. They head down ice. In on the left side. Angled off. Poke check by Larson. Bouncing puck. Kings pick it up behind the net. Centering pass. Stolen away. Johnson over to Thiebert. Thiebert in the neutral zone. Loses the puck. The Kings head back into the Thieves zone. Dangled past Larson, and loose puck picked up. Cleared out by the Thieves. 18 seconds left here. Clock will tick away. They send it all the way down ice on goal. Loose puck. Another shot saved by Churl. That'll be it.